Today we're going to talk about how you take your outline and turn it into a rough draft. It's really simple because basically majority of your work is done for you. So the first step is to take your outline and copy it. So just scroll down and highlight the entire thing. And the shortcut is to hit Control C on your computer. And then you're going to go to Google Classroom and you are going to create a doc in the category for the assignment that we've created on Google Classroom. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to create a document here in my Google Drive. So I'm going to make a new document here. And the shortcut to paste, if you don't know it, is just to hit Control V. And that will put all of my work on this page. So the next thing you want to do is just get rid of all of the titles, okay, that we have on here, the little headings and subheadings that we have on here. And then you want to block, delete everything and put it in block format for your paragraphs. And that just takes a little bit of time to delete everything and move everything back to where it should be. So just kind of like this, get rid of the little headings. This takes a little bit of time and move everything back. And then when you see this reason 1, that tells you that you have a new paragraph to start. So that means when I do this and I back it up, I want to make sure I indent, okay? And this should also be indented as well. I've got some funky spacing going on, and I'll fix that later, okay? So we'll talk a little bit about how we format this paper as well. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, you can see obviously that my text is in a bunch of different colors. So I'm just going to make sure, and yours might be too, I just want to make sure my text is in black. And MLA format means that my text should be in Times New Roman, should be in 12-point font, and should also be double spaced. You're going to come up here, this button right here is line spacing. You're going to drop that down and make it double, okay? The other thing you want to check right here, you can see that my margins are slightly off, and that can happen when you copy and paste from your outline. So what I want to do is actually drag this triangle over and make sure that triangle is right here where the gray line starts. And then I want to drag this rectangle back and make sure that's where the gray line starts. And that makes sure my margins are nice and even. And then I can go ahead and hit tab at the beginning of my paragraphs. Okay, and you can also see here that when I copied and pasted my quote, it italicized it. So I'm just going to make sure it's not italicized. Okay, so now I'm on the first step to formatting. Okay, so again, I see, oh, I left a few little headings here. I'm going to get rid of those. Okay, and I'm going to change my font back to black. Okay, and so that's really all you have to do is make sure your font is in 12-point Times New Roman font. Make sure everything is in black. Make sure everything is double spaced. Make sure everything is backed up to nice block paragraph format. So again, I'm going to change my font back to black. So it's just a lot of formatting, okay? And I can see here that I've got some different fonts going on here. It really takes a minute for you to take a look at your paper and make sure, are all my fonts consistent, okay? So it's really wise at the very end, when you get everything deleted, all the colors changed, everything in block format, to go back, highlight everything. Even if you think it's perfect, highlight everything and make sure it's Times New Roman, make sure it's in 12-point font, and then drop this down and make sure double is checked. And that will make sure your entire paper is in MLA format. Now, you also need to make sure that you've got your heading and your header in MLA format. So you're going to start with your name in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know why that's bolded or underlined, so I'm going to highlight that. Make sure it's not bold. Make sure it's not underlined. Okay. And then we also need to make sure that that's also double spaced. And then you have your teacher's name. So you can just put Mrs. D / Ms. A. And then you're going to have the course title, which is English 9. And then you're going to have the date. Now, remember, the date is a little bit different. So it's the day, and then the month, and then the year without any commas. Okay. And then you're going to give your paper a title. Now, the title should tell us what your paper is about. So you could say something like moving back school start times, or zoo should be kept. So your title should tell us a little bit about what your paper is about. It should also be centered. And we should have no extra space here. I have a little bit of extra space here, so I'm just going to back it up. The last thing we need to do is put the header in the upper right-hand corner. So they changed it on Google recently, so pay close attention to what I'm doing right here. I'm going to go to Insert, Header and Page Number. I'm going to float down here to the page number option. I'm going to choose the first box right here, and that puts the page number at the top of the page. I'm going to click in front of the page number, and I'm going to type in my last name and hit the space bar. And what that will do is make sure my last name and the page number changes on every page of my paper. And now my paper is formatted, okay? And that is how you should do yours too. So just to recap, your name, our names, the course title, the date, a centered title, your last name and page number in the upper right-hand corner. The whole paper should be in 12-point Times New Roman font and double spaced. Make sure you indent your paragraphs, and there should be no extra space between paragraphs. If you need any help doing that, please call one of us over and we'll be happy to help you. And again, you're typing your rough draft on Google Classroom. Thanks so much. Have a great day.